In today's video, we're going to try and make the bed of my truck watertight. Stay tuned. So basically today's whole video is going to be about my tailgate and the seal around it. I bought some stuff on Amazon to make it a little more watertight. If you follow my channel, you already know that I have a bed rug in the back. And I basically use the bed of my truck more like a trunk of a car than a bed of a truck. Not that I'm not willing to use it like a truck, but my needs are not those of someone carrying dirt or rocks, you know, the occasional big load of stuff to the dump, and that's about it. So before we go to do our first test, before we apply the new seals, we're gonna head off to the car wash. But before we get to the car wash, I want to invite everyone to, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. It's all about my Ford F-150 and the modifications I do, the maintenance, the off-roading, the camping where I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be logging the life of my truck. So if that's something that appeals to you, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you find my video good, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the algorithm. All right, we'll see you all at the car wash. I'm sure the thumbnail gave it away, but if you stick around to the end of the video, you're gonna see some fun I had and a conclusive test of how watertight the bed of my truck is gonna be. So we just pulled in not far from the car wash, and I'm gonna go get the bed ready, see if we can set this all up. All right, so I got my bed rug all peeled back, and I used my traction pads to hold it from flopping back and blocking our view. I'm really hoping this is gonna work. This is the product. This is the product I ordered off of Amazon. Now it's good for either the sides or the bottom. There's not enough to do the whole thing. I'll have to order another package if I decide to do the whole thing. And another thing with my bed rug is it actually sits down in this gap, and that's why it gets wet. So I'm wondering if water even really comes up there, or if it's just because it hangs down low in the so-called splash zone. So I'll set these cameras up, and you'll be able to see from the inside, hopefully. See you after the car wash. How did that look? And there's water. It all seems to be, the bed rug is a bit wet underneath. There's water here, and there's water on the physical tailgate and on the sides. So I don't know if it came in from the sides. We'll have to review the video together. I have a feeling I'm going to want to seal both the sides and the bottom, which just means I'm going to have to buy another set, and that's fine. Okay, so if you were looking closely in the video, the water, not that water, but the water from the car wash seemed to be coming in on the sides. Obviously the bed rug was all peeled up when I did that. So I think what we're going to do is try to seal the sides, both sides. Okay, so I cut the pieces. I went online and got the instructions. There's a QR code on the package to go right to their website. So, but first what I'm going to do is prep the surface with an alcohol wipe they provided. Make sure it's good and clean. All the spots where we're going to be putting a seal. Every truck has a specific set of instructions on where to put the seal. So I'm doing this on my 2019 Ford F-150, but it works on most modern pickup trucks. I should say there's instructions for most modern pickup trucks. So I went ahead and cut the pieces to the length that they suggest for this truck. I already did the other side. It's pretty simple. It sticks extraordinarily well. So make sure when you put it down, you don't put too much pressure on, because you might want to move it. You'll get a couple tries at it if you don't push too hard. If you push firm, it's probably not coming up easily. So I'm going to take the backing off. And since I already cut the fit, I know it's going to snug up on here. And I'm going to follow the contour of the bed. And it's pliable, it'll bend with the contour of your bed. The top piece, which I cut with a curve as per the instructions. I'll get it as close as I can. So that one's in. And then it wants us to put one at the top over here. I'll show you exactly where after. And then one at the bottom of the tailgate too. So for the sides, I got one up here, which obviously meet up into this gap up here. This should seal up in here. And then the sides. And I already did this side. I added two pieces. There was some extra that came with it. And I have a flip back bed cover, and there was some sharp aluminum edges here that I actually kind of cut myself on already. So we're gonna kill two birds with one stone here. And I noticed when I closed it, there was a gap here when I closed the tailgate, and this will stop me from scratching or cutting myself. And I'll just show you. It also closes this gap up and hopefully redirect water into the drain rails. And give it that little extra layer of protection for sealing. Try and make this bed watertight. So I think inevitably I'm going to end up buying another kit to seal the bottom. It's clearly still very open at the bottom, but this is going to go a long way to stopping the water coming in from the sides. So we're one step closer to absolute watertight. Okay, so that's it. It's installed. It was just that easy. You could probably get away with cutting it with a sharp knife or a pair of scissors. I used some razor cutters. And yeah, so both sides are done. I went ahead and ordered this rock block, and it's basically, and you can see it in there, I'll take it out in a minute, but it's a wide strip of rubber to cover right where this carpeting is here. And that carpeting is always wet. And I just drove here in a rainstorm yesterday, and it was wet, and my kit was here, my bag was here, and it got a little wet. So we're gonna go ahead and install this now. So we'll have the seal on the sides and the seal on the bottom. Now this is meant more for not losing sand or rocks if you fill your bed up with any type of loose cargo, but it's obviously going to also stop water flow. And then I also have a really big idea. Instead of the car wash, what we're going to do to test how watertight my bed is. Obviously all this stuff's going to come out to test it. So yeah, but let's get to the install of this. We'll do that together. So I just started pulling back my bed rug. It's just velcroed in, and I found moisture already. So I'm assuming that's getting blasted up from under here. So I'm going to get some rags and clean that and dry it, and I'll prep it for the install. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open this up. Sorry for the wide angle, but I want you to be able to see the whole bed. So it comes with a value action marker with reversible tip, sorry. So this is an adhesion promoter. Some instructions, some prep pads, and then the product itself, which is going to go across like so. So this is going to overlap on the seal that we put on, so I'm going to pull that off, and I had a little bit extra, so then we'll reapply after. So that's what I'm up to now. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to fit it nice, and I'm going to cut it because it's obviously a one length fits all, so they just make it long enough for everybody. So I'm going to cut it using my razor cutters, and I'm going to probably try and form fit it around the seals over here. These I'm just leaving up so I know where to replace it with new ones once I got that all settled. So I'll set you up so you can kind of watch me as I go. There's no instructions that come with it. What came with it was just explaining the adhesion promotion marker. So I'm gonna have to kind of fly by the seat of my pants here. But I'm thinking, I'm gonna show you my process, my thought process. I'm thinking I'm gonna cut this at an angle, and why not cover more of the bed or the gate I should say, as possible. So that's what I'm gonna do. I got more than enough to do that, so I'll show you what I'm up to here. Tear that right off. And then with this, we now have more coverage, and I'll kind of cut it to fit a little bit better. I'm gonna do that, and then I want to cut around this. So that's what we're gonna do. Just like that. And that should provide a little more of a watertight seal even when it closes. All right, so I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm not gonna bore you with all that, and we'll continue going. Okay, so it's trimmed to fit on both sides. So now I'm gonna remove it, and then use the alcohol prep wipes in all the spots where we're going to have the adhesion. 4 alcohol prep wipes. Should be more than enough to do the job. I already went over it with my microfiber cloth, so it's got to be pretty free of debris right now. It's not wet. So I'll take an alcohol prep wipe and go over it real good. Try and let it flow. Okay, see it. Make a line right down. This side's easy because I know exactly where the adhesion tape is. Just want to make sure I give that 30 seconds to dry. I'm going to start it. I know it's going to fit because I set it up. So I'm just going to start at one end. Get it in nice where I want it. Make sure it's all lined up before I go and lay it all and pull all the tape out and all the backing off. I want it to be all lined up. Just peel the tape out. One side is that stuck. So now I know where the second side's going to go. I can lay down that adhesion promoter. Okay, so it's been 30 seconds for the adhesion promoter to dry. I'll get this backing tape off. So one thing with this product is your tailgate's not going to come off. So if you're the type of person who takes off your tailgate to do work, this product isn't right for you because you're literally going to have to cut it to take it off. It looks great, like it's one solid piece. Alright, I'll clean this up and I'll show it in action, and then we'll talk about the test I'm going to do to show you how well, or to show everyone how well or how watertight my truck is. And before we do that, I'm going to, these pieces that I tore off, I'm going to, I got some left over, I'm going to cut them. I'm not going to show you that, and I'm going to put them on to help create the perfect seal. Okay, so I stuck the new seals on. I go with the side seals. You see how it falls into the bottom there. See it in action. So, I don't know if that's going to be 100%. I mean, the bottom is 100% watertight. I am seeing a gap by the latch here, which I don't like. I might actually add additional rubber since I have some extra to try and give it that watertight seal that I'm kind of trying to achieve here. But this works perfectly for what I was looking for. So yeah, I might actually add a couple tabs. My bed rug might get in the way though. But anyways, so this is my attempt at making the bed watertight. Okay, so I added 2 pieces, one on each side. And I used some of that adhesion promoter on the Velcro that was coming up, and it actually really worked really well. Anyways. So where you could see the hinge before is now blocked. All the way up to the top. You got a pretty decent seal in here. So okay, so for the first test of the water tightness of my tailgate, I'm going to climb into the bed of my truck while my lovely assistant Dylan is going to take the hose and spray around the edges of the tailgate, and I'll be inside filming and we'll see how good the seal is doing. And I'm sure Dylan's going to enjoy this. So I'll get in there now. Okay, so I got the bed rug pulled back. I got my helper out here. And I'm gonna climb into the truck. Okay, so I'm in. I got the bed rug all pulled back on both sides. And Dylan's about to close the tailgate. Can you close the tailgate, please, bud? Oh, we're getting wet. It's coming in at the side there. I don't know if you can see that. At the top. And so far, the bottom just has a little trickle. It's relatively dry. Okay, so I'm sitting on the bed. Dylan released me. And as you can tell, or as we saw, water did come in, especially at the top. And I did notice that the seal from my flip back tonneau cover, there was a gap. I could see light a little bit. So if anyone has any ideas how I could fix that up, put in the comments below. So I think that test was pretty conclusive that it's not 100% watertight by far. Did it do a good job? Yeah, it did a pretty good job. Can you make it watertight? I think you'd have to spend a lot of time and money to try and get it 100% watertight. But even though we know that it's going to leak a little bit, I still want to go on to my next test because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So check this out. Okay, so I got the truck backed up to the lake and I'm getting the hose ready. We're going to fill it up with water and see just how watertight it is. I got to turn the power off to my 12-volt outlet there. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the fuse. Okay, so here we are. It's all set up. The hose is in it. The power is off in the back. We're going to, and you can see we're by the lake. We're going to fill it up, or attempt to fill it up with water and see just how well the tailgate seals are doing. I'm sure it's not going to be 100%, but we're going to soon find out. Obviously, when it gets to the front, we're going to be contending with the drain holes for my flip back bed cover. But let's see where she goes. This is all for fun. Let's see if we can fill it up. So as we can see, the seals aren't perfect and we're losing water at the corners. So I got another trick up my sleeve to try and get this thing full. So stay tuned. So we have this gas powered pump that we use from Princess Auto for other things, but it's gonna move a lot more water than the garden hose. Okay, so the hose is in the truck and it goes down to the pump where Dad's priming it. and we'll get started. Well, here we go, people. Definitely killing. So, as you can see, it's holding water, and it's gone up. That tow hook has disappeared, and this one's slowly going. However, it's leaking out at the tailgate like crazy, and a little bit at the front here. And that might be around the plug where this hose goes through. So let's go check the other side. So here again at the front. So much for watertight. But the pump's doing well. It's keeping up. Okay, so we got two hoses in. Dylan's hand's helping me out. I got the gas pump. We got the hose, and the water's actually kind of deep. It's almost a pool. It's not quite the same as some people putting plastic in their trucks, but I think it's holding out pretty well considering all the leaks, although we have a lot of water coming in right now. So I think this is kind of conclusive. I hope you can hear me that you can't make a bed truck 100% watertight, but I think we did a pretty decent job. But there are quite a bit of leaks. I might eventually try some more, but Dylan's getting really rambunctious with that hose. So thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video with all your friends. Hit the notification bell, and by doing that, you'll be notified of every time that a new mod or video comes out. Like maybe another crazy adventure like we did today.